movie. I was listening to Will Smith's book on Audible, and the thing that stood out to me, man, first of all, incredible book. For people that know me, people that know me know that I know that Will Smith is that dude, man. That's just my opinion. Now, check this out, man. One of the things that stood out for me in his book was he talked about how he used to watch that show Dallas. Now, I remember the show. I didn't watch the show like that, but he used to watch that show Dallas. And there was a character on there named JR. And JR was like the king of the family. He was such a king that he had these big old acre of land, or big old acres of land. I think they sold oil or something. They were in the oil industry, but whatever. This is a white family, so whatever. They had he had acres of land, and he had his house. Then he had other houses on the land for his family members. So everybody lived on his land, and he was the king. And Will Smith said that on the show, when they would go to breakfast, the family members would come on horses because it was so far, to get to where they would eat. It was so far that you really couldn't walk, but you don't have to drive, but we got horses because we just fly like that. So we're going to jump on these horses and come to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or however he described it. And Will Smith said that was a goal of his as he got older. He wanted that type of situation for his family. Now, I haven't seen Will Smith's home, but in the book, he said that he was able to accomplish that. And I thought about that. I'm like, man, that is a phenomenal idea, man. My goal is to leave houses for my daughters, right? I have two daughters. I got Nyla and Zuri. I want to leave them homes. The home I'm currently living in, and then I want to leave them other homes so that they don't have to work. When you think about your biggest financial responsibility, outside of student loans, if you got those, it's the roof over your head. Whether you have a mortgage or whether you have an apartment, that takes up the bulk of your money. And I feel like for my daughters, if I could eliminate that, then they can be free to, have their money and flip it and do whatever they need to do. They don't have to have the same pressures of life that daddy and their mama had. And see, that's what you want, man. You want to eliminate those pressures of life for your children, especially when you know better. It would be foolish of me to continue teaching my children, or to teach children practices that my mother and father taught me. This is a different world. But back to Will Smith's idea, man, or the idea that he got from watching the show Dallas. He said he was able to accomplish that. And I thought about that. I'm like, man, instead of leaving my babies all these random houses, man, it's time to step it up and level up and get a big old piece of land, acres of land, build the house for me and a mama, and then, build build different homes on that land, man. That way multiple family members can live and everybody can have a space. And I can have peace of mind knowing that, everybody's safe because I'm king in this mug. But anyway, that's another video. But check this out, man. I thought about that, man. And that should be the way to go. Because another thing I don't want to do, man, I would hate for my children to be older, have these student loans, have all this debt, and then they got to go get roommates. Who wants roommates, man? You don't want no roommates. I don't want my children having roommates. If my children going to have roommates, Nyla, your roommate is Zuri. Zuri, your roommate is your sister who's been your roommate all your life. Y'all could be roommates. You don't need no other roommate and you got to worry about if they have their half of the rent or they half of the mortgage. Nah, ain't no mortgage because daddy took care of that. So that's my desire, man. And it's just time to level up, man. These things can happen. Like the sky is the limit and the limit is the sky. We don't have to live in poverty. We can have that abundance. We don't have to live in lack. Man, it's time to really go get it, man. And another thing, man, I would hate for my babies to be in need and I just gotta be like, well, go get a job and figure it out. I can't tell my girls that. I can't tell two girls that. Man, so I want to shout out to Will Smith for inspiring a brother from that incredible book, Will. And man, it's time to level up and trying to make some things shake, man. Cause like the boy Jay say, man, I will not lose.